evening, whatever we want to call it, man. Come on in the building. It is 7 o'clock. Come on, it's 7 o'clock. Come on, it's 7 o'clock. I should have hit up my girls in the inside of the platform, inside of our exclusive community platform. But everybody, man, check in, chime in. We are live, and in effect tonight. I am so excited just for the fact that we are here. We at the end of the year. Look, it's 2023 is right around the corner. We have so much stuff in store, man. So many events that's planned. But tonight, we are in for a treat. When I say tonight, we are in for a treat, y'all. Tonight, we are definitely in for a treat. We are on the Autism Moms Believe platform tonight. I'm so excited. Listen, we touch bases with so many autism moms where we come together and we collaborate and we listen to each other's stories. And a lot of times, we feel like we are by ourselves, but we really truly are not by ourselves. Come on. If we think about it, we are almost alike. And so on this platform tonight, we have Carmen Brown. I'm so excited, man. I know she's going to have her people in the building, but just a little bit about her, man. I'm so excited just to share just a little bit about her. But before I share anything about her, let me tell y'all a little bit about me. Whoever don't know me, I am Coach Court. I started this platform because of autism moms like you, because of autism moms like me, where we did not have a platform and we rep Jesus, come on, but we didn't have a platform. We didn't have a voice. We didn't have a platform to show other autism moms that, hey, we are the same. Not only are we the same, but we can teach each other. Come on, we can help each other. We can lean on each other a little bit, and when we're going through, guess what? We can get a story from one another. We can get a story from one another. So within our exclusive community, we started out on an exclusive community back in July of this year. We're very new. This is a very new platform. But I started 6 years ago with True Blue Brothers with my boys, with my two boys. And it started out to be small, but it got big. And I had so many autism moms on that platform asking me so many different questions that I did not know an answer to, because I'm just an autism mom, just like you, just like any other mom out there. And so I decided to start this platform, a platform like no other. And I'm excited. I'm excited to share so much more because I'm learning, I'm growing. And guess what? It's so many people around me elevating with their children. And there's so many things that are out there that we just don't know. But okay, so I'm gonna stop talking. I told Carmen, I always do an introduction, but I told Carmen tonight, I'm not gonna even do no big introduction because baby, she got so much to talk about. She got so much that she's endured. Not only has she endured, but she has taken it by the horns. I mean, she has taken it in full force. When I say full force, I'm talking about full force. She has a 14-year-old on the spectrum. She has a 3-year-old on the spectrum, and she also has a 2-year-old on the spectrum. Now you say, oh, well, Coach, is it just boys? Oh, no. She got a little girl too. So she has stories, y'all. She's going to help us tonight. Not only is she going to help us tonight, but she's willing to help after tonight. She's so connected with so many people in Florida. She's from Arkansas. She's one bad mama. You hear what I say? She's one bad mama. So anyway, let me get her on. Let me introduce Miss Carmen Brown.
Hey. Hello, everyone. I'm so glad that you guys have come and join us, and I'm honored to be here with Coach Court and be able to talk to you guys.
Well, we are excited to have you. We are excited and blessed. Come on, blessed
yes,
to have you
absolutely.
On this platform. I'm so happy that you're here. But just to break the ice, give us an introduction of yourself and your family.
And my family. Okay. Uh-oh, lost my light again. That seems to keep happening. Okay. That's what happens when it's live, right? My name is Carmen Brown. I'm originally from Arkansas. I live here in Florida. I'm here in Florida by way of Illinois. What does by way mean? It means that my husband is a proud member of the military. He served 22 years in the Army, and he has recently retired. Praise the Lord and hallelujah. So no more moving. Yay. The next thing is that I have as Coach Court said, I do have three kiddos that are on the spectrum. I have a 14-year-old, a 3-year-old, which is my Princess Nevaeh, which is heaven spelled backwards. My oldest one is Gabriel, which is, the Archangel Gabriel. And my youngest one is Xavier, which means missionary and leader. So each of them, I mean, I just feel like when we are blessed with kids, there's a special calling on each of their lives. So I prayed for strong names to be given to them. So as Coach Court said, yes, they are all three uniquely on the spectrum. I spent prior to really this journey taking off, I spent about 15 years in the insurance industry. I've done anything from billing, I've done intakes, I've done appeals, I've done oh gosh, you name it, I've done it in the insurance, and I've done it with chiropractic, I've done it with ABA, I've done it with PT. So just sleep studies as well too. So it's just different areas. But then one day I applied for a job, and it was because I was doing insurance, and it was just like it was a routine thing. I felt that it was like, this isn't right. It's just like something's not right. It's like I wasn't being filled anymore, just kind of going through emotions. And so I applied for a job at a clinic in Illinois. It was an ABA clinic. I was like, well, I have a kid that's on the spectrum. I volunteered, with Autism Speaks. And then also when I was in Arkansas, we did a support group called SPRAC. Is what I named it, because I was a single mom for a number of years. And so SPRAC stood for Single Parents Raising Autistic Kiddos, because there was always so much support for married families. And I was like, but what about us single moms? Because we still matter. We count. We have answers. I mean, we have questions. And so that's how that got started. So SPRAC. So anyways, let me speed you back up. So anyways, we're in Illinois now. And so I applied for the job at ABA, and oh my gosh, I fell in love with it. I was like, oh my. And for those that don't know, ABA stands for Applied Behavioral Analysis. So what it really does is I know there's a lot of misconceptions out there, and I know that everyone has a different experience. There are some good experiences with it, and there's some not so good experiences with it. But the nuts and bolts of it is it really teaches the functions of behavior, and not only our kids why they do what they do, but also as adults why we do what we do. So I learned a lot with doing that. And then also I was able to help with the insurance side of that, to really advocate for those families that have been trying to get services. And the insurance company says, oh no, their diagnosis is too old. Well, what do you mean their diagnosis is too old? So you are going to make a family go back through the whole diagnosis criteria just to get the stamp that said that their child is still on the spectrum. That's not right. That's not fair. And what are we going to do about it? So that was kind of another one of my, I don't like injustice. I came from a family of, my mom was a social worker and my dad was a cop for 29 and a half years, 15 of those. He was a detective. And so that is a lot of my background. It's just, when you have the opportunity to help, you help. When something isn't right, you speak it for those that may or may not have a voice or don't know how to use those. And anyone that knows me will know that I don't lack words.
Me either. I love to talk. And don't talk about autistic kids, because I love to talk. I'm gonna talk about them all day long, because they all different. They all
Yes.
different.
And
They all have stuff going on. I'm telling you.
I will tell you, I did, and I will admit it, I fell into the trap. And I don't know if you've heard this, when they say, one autistic kid, them all. I actually had that. I was like, oh, when my daughter got diagnosed, because I noticed some things about her. Actually, 18 months, she only had 7 words. And they kept saying, oh no, she'll get more words. I was like, no, we're not doing this. Nope, 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 nope. And I was like, we are not going to wait. They're like, well, we'll wait until she's 2. I said, why am I going to wait 6 more months until she's 2 when we could start services right now and be that much further? But I noticed her, it was about 18 months is when I really noticed her doing some tiptoe walking. And I noticed the hands being up like this. I was like, oh, I've seen that
Yeah,
before.
I was gonna say that's your second child, so you already seen.
And so I thought, I was like, oh, okay. So I'll just do everything for her that I did for my oldest one. I've got this. No problem. Hmm. Oh, no, 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 no. My daughter, she she's amazing. She goes to the beat of her own drumming. I never, ever, ever want to take that away from her. But she is the one where my oldest was a little bit more aware of safety. My daughter is not. She is an eloper. You have to watch her, especially like at night. We have a like alarms on our door anyway, but also like we have to have it on her door because she will get out and then she'll be standing there next to you and whatever she wants, she has figured out how to she she has engineered so much at such a young age and she's such a good problem solver. It's like, if those marshmallows are on top of the refrigerator, if I
Yeah.
take this stool to this chair to that counter, then I can reach up and get those marshmallows and I won't be bothering anybody. I'm
Yeah.
good.
So you
But
see the
no,
difference of a girl and a boy on the spectrum.
yes.
Yeah.
And then with my youngest one,
Mhm.
he snuck by me. The one thing, because he didn't have any of the typical characteristics, like what they show on like these different commercials. I mean, the only thing that was persistent with him was, I mean, he had some other health challenges, but he didn't speak. No desire
Mhm.
to talk. Just didn't talk. And then he walked at, because my daughter and oldest son, they started walking. They both started crawling at 11 months. And they did like the elephant crawl where their hands are up in the air and like they don't put their hands and their bottoms in the air. I was like, what is that? That's not, I don't know what that is. And then my youngest, I remember he did like this herky jerky crawl and it was very painful. But it was just still that nagging feeling something's not quite right. And then I noticed he did start doing some stimming behaviors. So, but the one main thing was he would stim on wheels. And it wasn't necessarily
Mhm.
on toys, it was on actual vehicles.
Wow.
So he would stand
Wow.
there and just, I mean, just frozen
Wow.
statue and just
Wow.
stem on the wheel and his whole body would shake from excitement. It's like, that's not normal. Hmm. Okay. All right. And then just with him not speaking, I was like, something more is going on. And the only time he was ever happy was in low lit areas. He didn't want a lot of sound. I was like, okay, so I feel like there's sensory, but is
Mhm.
sensory the only thing that's going with him? I was like, mm-mm, I don't think so. And I've been told, like, well, we need to wait. We can't early diagnose. I was like, look, this is my third time to go through this.
Whew.
The probability is pretty high that he is somewhere on the spectrum. I was like, we have to remember that what one case looks like is a different case, is a different case, is a different case, because it is a spectrum, and the different moms that I've
Oh,
met or even dads, it's just we can have our kids together and they will all have different triggers. They will all have different coping mechanisms. They will all have, I mean, even down to what we're going to eat. Now, the one thing I have noticed is pretty consistent is that our kids love chicken nuggets and they love fries. You know,
mine do too. Yeah. Yeah. It's a
I mean,
lot of them. Hmm.
and it's just like, okay, so we have to be the voice for our kids and be the voice for other parents that may not know, or, when they're seeing their provider and the provider is, no, I want to wait. No, we need to wait till they're two. No, we don't. The answer is no. No. Absolutely. No. Exclamation point. You do not have to wait. You are your kid's advocate because if you don't speak up for them, no one else will. And here's the other thing too. When you take them to do the eval, and they may not. So they're taking them to say the speech eval, the PT eval, or the OT eval, and they qualify. Great. All that's doing is just giving them one-on-one therapy, or one-on-one intervention that they're getting, outside of you, and a chance to be exposed to other kids. It's not gonna hurt anything. So
Yeah,
why
absolutely.
not? You know?
Absolutely. And when you say he's not speaking, it's a difference between not speaking no words and nonverbal, because some nonverbal children, they do have sound, but
Right.
just no words. They don't communicate
Correct.
with words.
And my youngest one, so with him, 19 months, he
Hmm.
was, yeah, 19 months old, he was diagnosed.
Hmm.
Still no words, no sounds, no, not interested. He did not receive a nonverbal diagnosis. She just put him down. I take that back. I think maybe he had two words, but it was just, I mean, 2 words at 19 months is just, I mean, and it
Yeah.
wasn't mama, it wasn't dada. It was, so they didn't say nonverbal. They put him down
Hmm.
as low verbal. And I said, okay, what does
No.
that mean?
Okay.
And they said, well, we believe that he is going to speak. I said, well, I know he's going to speak. I
Come
know
on.
that's going to happen. I was like, it's going to happen. But me, I like timelines. I like order. And I think that's what God keeps working on me. It's like, you're funny. You want to control things, but
Yeah.
this is not going to happen. And so, like, we're just going to continue on with speech. And I will tell you, I met two fabulous speech therapists. When there were days I was out in the parking lot and I was like, Alyssa, I know he's going to talk, but when, or like, I'm starting to lose hope. She went, don't you say that. Do not. I said, I'm not giving up. She went, don't you say that. Do not say that. He is going to speak. He is going to speak. She's like, we are going to figure this out. We are going to crack the code. And that's what we called it
That's
with
right.
all the. So what I've learned, and I'll pause on that for a second, is that I had to have a team for each of my kiddos. I
Oh, that's
couldn't have
good.
the necessarily same team. Even though Xavier and Nevaeh are a year apart, I can't have the same team
That's right.
because it I just couldn't have the same team. And I was trying to get the same team. But I had Alyssa, she was amazing. And Kristen, oh my gosh, they are hands down phenomenal. But I remember I was just had tears in my eyes in the parking lot with Liz. She's like, Carmen, we are not going to speak that over him. We are not going to say that over him. We're going to crack the code with Xavier. We are going to figure it out. We will. You hear me? We will. And start praying over him. She's like, we
That's
will
right.
crack the code. And then, I was introduced to music therapy because I was like, the one thing he does
Oh,
seem to get happy about is bath time and music. She's like, I know. We started singing things. We just started singing to him,
oh.
like, just singing like CUP. I mean, I'm not going to sing on the air because I can't sing, but, just not gonna- but, we found out he is so motivated by
Oh.
music. Oh my goodness. It's just like he lights up. And now, so that was 19 months. Let's say he has 2 words. He is almost 2.5 now. And
Mhm.
he said to me yesterday, didn't even know he could. I was like, hey, Zaire, because I call him Zaire. I was like, hey, Zaire. He went, hello, how you? I went, huh? Did you just say, how are
Woo!
you? Did you just say, how are you? And he just had this smile. He went, heh, 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 heh. And that's how he laughs. I was like,
Wow.
oh my gosh. And then he will go on a tangent of words. I mean, they just start, it's like, where did these come from? And then there are times that, he just won't say anything, but we did sign language with him. And I was like, you know what? I am committed to getting into your world,
Yeah.
whatever it takes, like we have to figure out. Because I think also, too, is that with our kiddos, we want so bad for them to be with us and force them, like, no, you need to do this on this schedule, you need to do this on this schedule, but we have to get into their world to
Woo.
make them comfortable, to understand them, to bring them more into, to help them out better. So I was like, you know what? If I have to sing to you everything, then you know what? That's what we got to do. But I mean, I didn't even know how much he was soaking up. I had
Mhm.
no idea. And then for him to say, how you, like, yes, that is very appropriate. It's like, hello, how are you doing?
Mhm.
I was just, I was amazed.
Wow, that's amazing, Carmen. Now tell me, what is a typical day in your household? Now I know, like for me, I got to get up so early in the morning because I have a teenage daughter, and then I have my boys. So I know every day is different, especially like with toddlers. And I know we have autism moms out there that are just starting, that just got their children diagnosis. I know I just seen in the comments that somebody just said they just found out today their son has to do a reveal to get services. So everybody is going through so much at
Hmm.
so at different times, and you're trying to cram everything into one day. It almost seems to me that there is not enough time in the day just to get everything done. So tell me just a little bit about what does a typical day in your household looks like?
Well, I have my ideal day in my head that I start off with,
Yeah.
and then I have my realistic day. So I'm just going to tell you about a realistic day. Usually, I wake up, I have to wake up at least an hour and a half to 2 hours before the littles because they go to ABA 4 days a week, and then they have their outside therapies of speech and PT and OT as well too.
Good.
So the one thing that I will tell you that does help is I have a calendar that is on the refrigerator, and it's sectioned off by people and it's color coded, which that helps me to visually see the week and also to see what any appointments that I have. Because let's be honest, do we really make time for ourselves as autism moms? We
There
don't.
you go. There you
We have
go.
to,
Yeah.
And then when I finally started doing that calendar, I was like, oh, and it's actually my 14-year-old that pointed out. He said, "Mom, there's nothing in your section." And I said, "Well, Gabe, it's because I have to take everybody everywhere." He went, "Well, don't you need to do something too?" I was like,
Oh, that's good. So this is a regular calendar?
"Yeah, it's magnetic. You could get it off Amazon. I'll find the link and then I'll send it to you.
Okay, perfect.
And then we could put it on there. But I'm telling you, it had changed it because I mean, we do so much. Everything's like in our head, but just to visually get it out,
Yeah.
it really helped. So, anyways, I get up about 2 hours before I go and take my shower. Do the stuff that I have to do, and then I go ahead and I make the lunch and I make breakfast. So my youngest one, he is on a gluten-free diet, and I will tell you that has made a big difference with him. I feel in his speech, in the way that, he's not as bloated, he's not as cranky, he's not as angry, with the head fog. So he is on a gluten free diet. So I have to prepare a separate meal for him. So then I do the breakfast and I do the lunch, and then we wake everybody up. So make sure you drink your coffee before you wake everybody up. Um, because once, I mean, it is on skates, and then because my 14-year-old, he'll get up. That's Gabe. He'll get up. He'll take the two dogs out. We have a dog named Riley, then we have a Boston Terrier named Frenchie, and so he'll take the dogs out. Then he'll eat his breakfast, and so then I get the two youngest ones up. I get them. My husband helps me to take them to the potty, to get them dressed, and then to get them their lunches and get them in the car and get on the road. So dropping my oldest one off at school, then taking the other two to their therapy. So they're there, like I said, 4 days a week. And then in that time is where I try. So during that time is where I'm working on my volunteer work, whether it's with Abilities Workshop or I'm working on Bright Feet. And for those of you all that are in the Florida area or even in Georgia, Bright Feet is a special needs resource directory. It is completely free for families, but it is a one-stop shop to where you open it up and you can see the resources, whether you need PT, OT, speech, music therapy, horseback riding therapy, financial services, whether you need to do your guardianship. There's a special needs attorneys that are there. It is there. You don't. It's what you need. You just open it up. It comes out twice a year in the October and in April, so that it's something else. am very passionate about working on. So that is where I cram that time in. Type, 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 call, 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 respond, 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 and then go pick up my littles. My daughter, she does not nap. Like I said, she goes to the beat of her own drum. She, by the time she wakes up at
Wow.
6:30 in the morning, and goes to bed about between 8 and 8:30. But then you will hear her sing herself until about 9:30. And so, so she is go, go, go. Xavier, he will power down. He will have his nap, but usually it's for about an hour, hour and a half. Because by the time you get them home, and then I get them home, and then I have to go get my oldest one from school, and he does track at school. He's trying out for the basketball
Really?
track last year, and
Oh,
then he actually did the was it the 100 in a little over a minute for his first year for track.
oh,
Proud of him. And then oh, the 400. Thank you, Gabe, for thank you. Excuse me. He just corrected me. It was the 400.
okay.
And so we did track last year. I mean, he did competitive soccer last year, where we travel was on a traveling
Wow.
team. And the thing with that is that when he was diagnosed, they told me he was never going to talk, he was never going to show love, he was never going to be able to have any friends, he was never going to be able to participate. So when I saw him spinning around in circles and head banging on the wall, they I left there. They led me to believe that that was going to be it for him. And I said, you know what? I remember this clear as day. I was walking out. They said, what, we'll see what we can do. There'll be some things you'll be able to do, but this is pretty much it. And I stopped in the door and I said, you know what? You guys are not going to say this for my son. He is going to be able to do so much more than what you were saying. I mean,
Mhm.
he has been mainstreamed from day one. He makes
Wow.
A's and B's. He has a 504, but you know what?
Oh,
It's it's just like everything that they said that he couldn't do is like, yes, he can. And I want you guys to
whew.
believe that for your kids. Yes, they can. Don't place limits on what they can do. I mean, our doctors are phenomenal. I
My
am not
God.
saying that, but your kids. And just like with Nevaeh, they say, she's gosh, because she had 7 words. Yeah, when she got diagnosed, she had 7 words. I can't even tell you how many words she has. I mean, now we'll get done with dinner and she will look up at her dad and she'll say, Daddy, carry to room. I feel like lying down, is what she will say. And she is 3 years old.
Wow.
I mean, it's just our kids can do so many things. And I just want, you know, there's some challenging days, there are, but
Absolutely.
just remember that. So, I mean, for the rest of the day, I pick him up, take him to whatever practice he is. I mean, my husband, he's great. We tag team a lot. And then, get him dropped off, get him picked up. And my husband coaches football, as a matter of
Oh,
fact, for Pop
wow.
Warner. He's been coaching for about 7 years as well, too.
Ooh.
So he coaches primarily middle school, but he's done 14U for the last couple of years too. And he does outside mentorship. So I mean, we're doing, and while we're doing and going, our kids are coming with us, because this is great exposure for them. It's great exposure for others that may not know what autism is or have heard of autism, or the one phrase I always get, well, they don't look autistic. And I'm like, oh, do tell. What does that look like? I'm curious. It's like, but they don't have that look. I went, well, what is the look? So it's just, I mean, and I remember when Gabe was little, I mean, he would fall out. I mean, he would have a meltdown in the middle of Target. But you know what? He was having a meltdown in the middle of Target. I still had to go to Target. I still had to get things done. And I will never forget, gosh, he was maybe 4. And I remember going in there and he would say, sing, 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 sing. I was like, sing? Nobody's singing. What is he talking about singing? I remember talking to his OT about it. She went, sing? What are they talking about? And it was the fluorescent lights that he was hearing. They were
Wow.
humming. And in his world, they were singing. So I was like,
Wow.
oh, okay. All right. So if that bothers you when we go first thing, maybe I could change that to a little bit later. So, like, after the lights warm up, maybe they won't be as loud, I mean, so there are some things I did try to
Mm.
accommodate for, but there are other things that are just part of life. You have to go to the store, you have to grocery shop, you have to, I mean, things can't go in order. I mean, I remember I told him one time I was going to go to the gas station, I was going to go to Target, and then I think the grocery store. And he said, gas station, Target, grocery store. And I said, yes. He was like, and he just kept repeating that over and over again. Well, I mean, the gas station ended up coming. No, the grocery store came. I was like, oh, I'll just swing it to the grocery store. Well, that's not what I said. That is not the order in what I said. And I was like, Game, I am sorry that you were upset. I am sorry that this is causing more stress on you. I am sorry that you feel the way that you feel, but I got to go to the grocery store. And this is what we need to do at this moment. And
Wow.
my two youngest ones is like, even still, like, they like a certain routine, but as much as we like routine and as
Hmm.
much as I try to stick with the routine, I'm also doing them a disservice if I
Mm.
just stay doing the same thing over and over again. The one thing I have done, which is super cheap for you families to make, is I did a visual schedule. You could go to the Dollar Tree and get one of those pencil pouches,
Hmm.
and I put some Velcro on the back of it. So it shows pictures of what we're kind of doing for the day. So they have a visual. But if I need to change it, they can change it themselves on there.
No, no, that's good. That's
So,
good.
yeah,
That's
I'll
a
take a
good
picture.
thing.
I'll
Yes,
take a picture of
please.
it and send it to you guys. But it's something that
Oh
was
man.
super cheap, and it has saved me some headache. I was like, okay, I have to meet them halfway. How can I make this a little bit better for them?
And that's what I was gonna ask you next. So how do you deal with like stress and overload?
For the overload,
Hmm.
I keep my plate pretty full. And as far as stress overload, I would love to say that I go to the gym every single day and work out and find some way to decompress. That is not true. I eat a Snickers every single day, find some chocolate. But I do try to find some music that uplifts me. So, when I am driving to the different places, I'll put on some Christian music, or I'll put on like some Kirk Franklin, or I'll put on some upbeat music that can kind of, make me feel better. Or at least on the weekend, I make it a point, my husband and I, we will go take a walk. And because I love botanical gardens, I just love garden. The gardening is one of my favorite things. And so, like, we will make it a point to go do something like that. I mean, if it's not a long walk, or even if I don't take a long walk, just something that's intentional. Or like, I was doing a women's Bible study at my church. I was like, that this is my dedicated Tuesday. I was like, you handle it, figure it out. But on Tuesday from 6 to 8, this is my time. I mean, everybody in the family, they knew it, like, this is mom's time. It's just something, carve it out. I waited way too long to do
So
that. And
you make time for yourself
yes,
without
you
your
have to
children.
make time without my children. And I have my husband to really thank for that,
Yeah, yeah.
honestly, because I was like, okay, well, I'll go do this. I'll take Nevaeh with me, or I'll go do this, or like, come on, Gabe, come with me, or I'll take Xavier with me. He said, that's not any time. I was like, well, I don't have everybody with me. He went, but what are you doing for you? He's
Yeah.
like, I have football. And then I mentor the kids. And, he's like, that's my time.
Hmm.
But what are you doing for you? And I would name off this list of different stuff that I was doing. He said, no, 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 that's what you're doing. And you're doing for
Others
others, and you're doing for your family. But what are you doing
for
for
you.
you?
Hmm.
And I was like, hmm. And
How
so that
important is that? How important is that? How important is that? What if you did not have that? How important is that?
I will tell you, I went for a very long time without doing that. I mean, we're talking years, and it led to isolation. It led to depression. It led to some dark thoughts. It really did, because I felt alone. I was very overwhelmed, because in our world, we're always looking at forms, we're always looking at services, we're always checking the insurance, we're always looking at different things like, what is the next step? How do we prepare? What's going to happen? What happens if something happens to us? What happens if I don't do this? It's like a house of cards that we're always carefully building. I remember comparing it to Jenga, like the Jenga game,
Yeah.
how things are
Yeah.
moving. And I always just had so much immense pressure that, honestly, I mean, there is pressure though, too, but some of it we can place on ourselves too by not taking that time. And I just felt that if I moved that wrong piece, everything was going to fall apart, until, the Lord will tell you, either you slow down or I'm going to
Ooh.
assist you. And the Lord assisted me. I got sick, and then, Lord will also say, these are distractions, and he just started clearing things, just clearing the muck out of the way. And then I
Mm.
had some really good people pour into me and say, Carmen, you can't do this anymore. You can't. I
Yeah.
know you fancy yourself superwoman, but you cannot do this. You're killing yourself. And what's going
That's
to
it.
happen if you drop dead? What's going to happen to your baby?
Right.
So
Exactly.
I mean, I would say the sickest I was when I had bronchitis, walking pneumonia, and I had pleurisy at the time. I mean, I was just sick. I was just, and I remember there one to put me in the hospital. I said, I can't go to the hospital. I'm a single mom. At that time, I was like, who's gonna take care of my kid? I can't go. And she said, either you go home, you figure out how to change your lifestyle, or you will be put in the hospital for, I can't tell you how long you're going to be in there.
Oh, wow.
I was like, okay, all right. And so I did a lot of thinking, because he had to go stay with my mom, and I did a lot of thinking about, how do I change this? What do I
Yeah.
do?
Hmm.
So please don't do what I did, people. Please, I beg of you,
Oh, yeah.
because we'll go and go and go until we can't.
Yeah, and also I know too, a lot of autistic children have issues with sleep and sleep management and sleep that they just don't want to go to sleep. How do you deal with sleep in your household? Is it like a tag team kind of thing with you and your husband, or
It
how do
it
you do it?
it, it is. Because he stays up later than I do, and I get up earlier, kind of like the whole shift. Because Nevea, it takes her longer to go to sleep, but
Mm.
she will stay asleep. Xavier will not stay asleep, and you can hear, but he's pretty quiet. But you'll hear him like pacing in his bed, or you'll hear him like tapping on the wall, and so he doesn't get really loud. Now, Gabe, when I was a single mom, oh my gosh, the Lord kept me during that time. I'm telling you, the I didn't know he had sleep issues until he was 4, because he had seizures. And so one of the seizure
Mm.
medications I had to give him at nighttime, it was a sedative, so it would make him go to sleep. And so once we got him off that seizure medication, it was like, oh my gosh, the kid does not sleep. He would go to sleep at 8 o'clock. I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. I can get some rest. Midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, bing,
Back
eyes
up.
bright. Let's go. Let's go for the day. And I remember I would just have to just put him in the bed. And I remember putting Thomas the Train on, because I was like, I've got to sleep. If I do not sleep, I was like, I have to. And even still, like, when I get up about 5 in the morning, like I could hear Nevaeh, like I could already hear her moving around. I was like, Nevaeh, shh, shh. And like my husband will say, yeah, she's already been up a couple times. We're like, yeah, she just got up. Xavier just went back down. So
Oh,
we have
oh,
it's coffee, a lot of coffee. But there are some nights where it's good, and they do sleep. And I we've tried melatonin. For us, melatonin did not work. It had more of a rebound effect. So I have found something that does seem to work a little bit better. It's gosh, it's It's a serotonin mix is what it is, and I can give you guys the link for that too as well
Yes,
too. That but that
please.
seems to help. And I don't know if your kiddos have this, but where they just wake up in a bad mood, you know?
My oldest son gets up every night. Like, seriously, like he's always had issues with sleep. Melatonin does not work, but we use it. We use whatever we can get, how we can get it, when we can
Hmm.
get it. And it's almost like a tag team kind of thing. Just like how you were saying with your husband, my husband and I almost do the same thing. And it just depends on who was up that previous night, who
Right.
is the most exhausted, who is the most equipped to stay up with them. And then sometimes, we're so tired to whereas we're both like, where's JJ? We just jump up and like, where's JJ? He's in a closet somewhere. He's eating
Mhm.
cereal out the pantry. He's over here, drinking juice. He has, things in the bathroom. Oh, he's wet himself in the bathroom. Now we got to get up. I mean, we're completely out of our minds. Why?
Yes.
Because we haven't gotten any sleep. And people don't understand that because they live day to day. And then when you see people be like, oh, I'm so tired, and they don't have autistic kids, we're like, wait a minute, what? We
Like tired.
I
You don't
want
know
to
what
know what
tired
tired
is.
feel like. So it's important. It's so important that we talk to one another and get these ideas because it's not just your child, it's not just my child. It's so many other children out there. It's so many other autism moms that are really like, I am in dire need. And doctors try, but they
Mhm.
don't really know.
Right.
They don't know that okay, they'll go to sleep, but they won't stay to sleep.
Right. Right.
And then when they
And
go to
then
sleep, I want to get some stuff done.
see, because and that's the other thing too that I finally had to stop doing because I was like, you know what? Because I would say, okay, they're asleep. I can clean my house. I could do this. I can pay this. I mean, just this whole list of stuff that I was doing. But I was like, wait a minute. If I know the likelihood of him being up in 4 hours and this is going to start all over again, why am I pushing it right now? I need to
Yeah.
just get my
Go to
nap
sleep.
in. Because even Gabe, he was up at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, what is that noise? And Gabe was just up. He's like, I can't sleep anymore. He's like, so I came out because I got hungry. So, and I remember when he was younger, oh my goodness, he would make himself banana sandwiches and jelly and banana sandwiches. And because I would ask him cause if he did fall back, so I was like, Gabe, what are you, what were you doing last night? He's like, well, I couldn't sleep. So I got hungry. I read a little bit. And then I decided to make myself a sandwich because I didn't want to wake you up because I know you're tired, mom. So I made myself a sandwich, but I didn't know where to put everything. So I didn't want to make a bigger mess. So it would just keep going on and on and on.
He's such a sweetheart, though. Oh my goodness. Wow.
He's a great kid. But yeah,
Yeah, in the
sleep.
comments, somebody just said my 12-year-old didn't sleep for 24 hours the other day.
Oh
I can
my
relate.
goodness.
Look, I can relate.
Oh
Like
my
for
goodness.
some reason, I don't know what's up with our children, but it's something with sleep that they can just stay up, stay up, stay up, and it's like we can't do. We're not made that way. We're not equipped
Yes.
to do
We're
that. And just like you said, when you were a single mom, what do single moms do?
because I remember, will never forget talking to my oldest neurologist because I was like, look, we got to do something because I did we try. I can't remember if we tried set the prescription or not, but I know that we did melatonin and we did time release melatonin, and it didn't work. But we did do a sleep study. And I will tell you, we did learn something from the sleep study that he had mild sleep apnea. So, I mean, that was part of his awakening, but not the full thing, you know. So, I mean, that was just good, knowledge to
Information,
have.
yeah.
But, like, okay, I'll monitor it, but how do I get him to sleep?
It's not gonna help us. It's not gonna help me tomorrow night.
I was like, okay, awesome.
Woo!
One more thing to write down.
Yeah, really, for real. So tell me what kind of activities And I know you said, you take them to the football games, you take them, but what kind of activities do they have like around the house? Like when you home and there's nothing for them to do, and don't say tablets. Everybody got tablets.
Oh,
Come
but see,
on.
and that's the thing. I don't. My 2 and 3 year old tablets are no no. We do not do tablets here at all. I just no. I just don't. The one thing is sensory boxes. I wish I had one with me, but this is
Hmm.
something so cheap that you guys can make for, especially for your little ones, that will provide so much entertainment. You could get like you can go. I love the Dollar Tree. Oh, the Dollar Tree, the one with the green, not the yellow. It's the green one where it's $1.25 in there. But you could get like a plastic bin, get you some rice, get you some get rice, and then you could get like some of those pom poms that you could put in there, and
Mm-hmm.
then you get like a funnel and just like have them play in the rice because it helps so much like with fine motor as well too. My youngest, my daughter, she loves to draw. Oh my gosh! So I have the dry erase boards are actually on the wall, and also when she's working on standing up and drawing, that's working on fine motor too. We play some games, we do Play-Doh. I mean, and my like I said, my very youngest one, he loves looking at cars. His favorite thing to do, if I take him out to the parking lot and we just watch the cars drive by, he has just had the best day.
That's so good.
I mean, he's just like, so that is just, I just don't do me. We do a lot of, I do play music a lot, and like we'll have random dance parties. I mean, even my oldest one was like, Mom, I don't want to do that. And so I start dancing around him. It's like, oh, Mom, please. And so then he'll join in eventually. And we just laugh. We do a lot of laughing. My husband loves to watch movies, so that's like the very youngest one and my son, my oldest one. They'll watch movies together. So they
Okay.
will. They will do that. My daughter, we can't sit still long enough for a movie. It's
Mm-mm.
we pop in and out. But she enjoys cooking though. She really enjoys like helping me bake cookies and just, I think
Really?
it's a mixture of the motion of doing this and just being able to bounce to different things. I try to play with them. Like, I know play has been hard for me as it's
Mhm.
something I'm having to relearn to do because they don't play like I want them to play. Like, no, it needs to go like this. But does it really need to? No,
No.
it doesn't.
I'm
So
glad you
that's
said that.
something
I'm glad you
that
said that.
I'm having to relearn, just say like, Nevaeh, show me what you want, or show me how this goes. And then Xavier, we have this big dump truck that Nevaeh sits in, and Xavier will push her back and forth. And then they'll say, play, mommy, play. So I was like, okay. So I'm down there. I was like, okay, come on, let's dump Nevaeh, like kind of raising it up a little bit. And so but it's just spending time with them because they want us
Yeah.
is what they want. And I remember that with my youngest one, but in my head it was just like, I have to get this done, I have to get this done, I have to get this done. So it's
Mhm.
like he's older and we have different one-on-one time. Like, I'll go outside
Mhm.
and play. I can't play basketball, can't do it, but I try. I do.
Me, I used to. I used to.
Did you?
I used to play basketball.
Awesome.
That's
Awesome.
but that's a secret. That's a secret.
We'll tell you what, we'll switch, Courtney, and because he's like,
I
Mom,
haven't
why do
done it
you
in
do
years though.
like
I
that?
mean, literally, I have not played in like over 20 years, like over 20 years. But it's fun. It's fun.
Yes, and they just want us. How whatever component that looks like, that's all they want.
Absolutely.
It's just us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I know you said that, you work, but you really don't, but you volunteer. So
Right.
how do you juggle that with life, with just being able to go there, knowing that your children are safe, coming back, making sure you're taking time out to do that and occupying that time with them as well, making kind of leveling off, because I know a lot of autism moms can't work.
Right.
I mean, they can't volunteer, they can't work, they can't do anything. They just can just stay home with their child, and the only reason is because they don't understand or they can't grasp how to maneuver in that way, because if they take their child here, somebody might be calling them in an hour, and then they have to come here, and they have to leave their job, or they leave their voluntary setting. So they just need to know, like, how do you navigate that? How do you navigate, like, work life?
Well, I will say with my oldest one, I was getting those calls. There were so many different places I would try, like, oh, aftercare was just terrible. Cause I mean, at that time, I had to work at that time, but the aftercare places, they didn't understand what his needs were. So they were saying, like, there were different behaviors, but it wasn't that he was a bad kid. It was just he couldn't express what it was that he needed.
Mhm.
Therefore, it presented itself in behaviors. And so I was like, okay. I got to work. So I did start working at different places that I would take him to, just so I could be there and I could work. So it actually ended up working out for a while. Now, with my youngest ones, now that with my husband and I, is where they both go to the ABA. They're there for about 4 to 5 hours a day. So, I mean, that is a little block of time,
Mm,
and they understand the behaviors, they understand the components. So, the one thing I will say is do your research for when you
mhm,
are looking for a place to take your kids. Tour as many times as it takes for you to feel comfortable. But you know what? If you don't feel comfortable or you feel that, don't try to make it. Don't try to force it in there. And there are a lot of virtual jobs that are available now, which does help. So, I mean, if you can find, like, maybe working with a part time, or, like, something that's flexible to where you can work when they are younger and they do take a nap, or just get a support system, get a team for your child together. It's like, for me, it's like Team Xavier, Team Nevaeh, Team Gabe.
mhm.
And also, even if you only have an hour that you can give, then give that hour, because that's what you have. And don't feel bad about it. Don't be shamed that that is all that you have. And know that you have a voice. And, you know, you never know who you may bless when you were in Walmart and
Mm.
you're standing in that line and you're annoyed that that line is going so slow and you just want to get out of there. You never know that there may be a mom that's newly diagnosed,
Ooh.
or you run into them. Because I mean, I talk to so many people because I have a lot of autism awareness shirts, and I just have people that just walk up to me. It's like, what do I do? Where do I go? How do I start? I'm like, and I'll say, how do you start? What are we doing? And because I forget that I have this shirt on, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, okay. And especially right after COVID, because we had yearned for that connection so much. Is I would just start talking to people in the parking lot while I was waiting on my littles to get out of therapy, or if someone
Ooh.
getting eggs in the grocery store. I was like, what's that there? It just talking to people, and then it just led into a conversation. Go, oh my gosh, my granddaughter was just diagnosed. Boom, there we go.
Yeah.
Let me support you. How, like, what can I do for you?
Absolutely. And it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good when you help other
Yes,
people. It's
it
it's
does.
almost like both sides are helping each other. They're helping you, not knowing that they're helping you, and then you're helping them with their issues.
Exactly,
It's
exactly. Because the
amazing.
one thing I know, I remember when my oldest was first diagnosed, I didn't know what
Mhm.
autism was. I didn't know. I thought they were speaking Greek to me. I didn't know what to do. And
Mhm.
so I remember I went to a library that was not close to my house. It was in the opposite direction because I felt it in my spirit that the Lord was telling me to go to this library. So I didn't know why, because it was out of the way. But I went there, and I said, because he was diagnosed 12 and a half years ago. So Google was not real big back then. And so I went to the only place I knew to find answers was the library. And lo and behold, there was a lady that was standing there that was about to leave. And she said, I don't work at the library, but I am an early interventionist, and I'm going to point you in the right direction.
Mighty
So it
God.
was like at that moment is I was able to begin the path of getting help. And I vowed and made a promise that whatever I could do to make someone else's path easier, that is what I was going to do. I
Oh,
just don't want someone else to think there's no hope. There is hope. There really is. It's just a matter of navigating the journey, and we're all doing it together. It may look a little different, but a lot of it looks the same, and having a good sense of humor has really helped too.
for real, because it's a lot of hard work. So with that humor, it helps you get through to get
Yes.
to what you need for your particular child. And people don't
Yes.
understand. They see some children soaring and they see this child doing this and doing that. And they're just like, what about my child? But it's really not about this or that. It's just about just working with your child. And just like
Yes.
you said, that humor takes you that to that next level. Well, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay
Right.
that they're pulling up towel right now. I know they're not gonna do it forever. Show them
Yes.
different, get some kind of resources to help you figure out what's that sensory about. Why are they doing it, doing these things? And then you'll start to see as they get older and more mature, it starts to level out and go away. It really does.
It
It really
does.
does.
It does. And
Mhm.
even for sometimes some more of your severe kiddos, because we also have to remember that even though being on the spectrum, you're going to have your ebbs and you're going to have your flows. And then you're going to have where you feel like I've already conquered this and we're not going to go back to it. Even if you go back to a behavior that you thought, oh my gosh, I am not going to do this again. I've been there, check that box. Lord, why am I back in here? Just know it's not. Tough times don't last forever.
Ooh,
It is not going to last. You just have to remember the ebbs and the flows and the peaks and the valleys.
I love it. What's your final words of encouragement? We got 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I told y'all I could talk. Um, my final word, biggest thing is one, if you don't advocate for your kid, you know your child better than anyone else. If it doesn't feel right, speak up. Two, um, trust your gut. No matter what, trust your gut. And then even if you are in an area that you don't have, say, a lot of family around, just find your village. Find your support, find your village. And don't be afraid to, if you feel that no one else will understand, someone will understand. Don't be afraid to speak where you are. Take your kids out. Don't leave them. And I know, trust me, it is challenging. I get it. I promise you I do. But take them out, expose them to the world. And also because you're not only teaching them, you're also helping others view autism through a different lens other than what they have seen on TV. And so that would be my words of encouragement. And just, it is going to be hard. There are going to be challenging times, but I promise you, it won't always be like it. It will not. And then we get so used to always having to talk about what our child may have a deficit in, but just remember whatever that deficit is, that they have 10 more things that they're great at, and just push and encourage what you see, what their interests are.
Absolutely. Oh,
That would be,
that's so
that would be
good.
my
That's so
advice.
good. Y'all listen to me. Carmen was so amazing tonight. Let me tell you, I'm trying to get her. Well, she will be. She's already a partner in the exclusive community. So understand me. I want everybody to come on. Whoever is not in the exclusive community, please, please, please join. If you go onto our page, all you would have to do is just click on the group, the private group, private Facebook group. We have 500 plus people in there now, and she's going to be in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to get her in to talk to us at least once a month next year, 2023. And she's going to
Oh,
be
I'd
like,
love to.
she has a great we didn't talk about it, we didn't touch on it, but she does have a great show called Coffee with Carmen, and and it's just amazing. And I want her to just kind of throw a little bit of that into the community because for one, we all need that. We need motivation. We need inspiration. We need determination, if you will. And so she is one of the ones that we know that can push and press us forward, because not only is she an autism mom, but she's an ABA activist. She helps out with so many more of our parents, and let alone just helping, but she's involved in it. She's doing it with us. See, so it's important that we understand that not only her, we want other people to join as well. Also, YouTube. We are pushing our platform out on YouTube. It's already on YouTube, but we're going to expand it a little bit more. We're going to have new stuff in store on YouTube. So just be on the lookout. Just go find Autism Moms Believe on YouTube, and we're going to expand our reach on YouTube. So because we're going to
Yes.
have different events and stuff like that. It's going to be exciting. It's really going to
Yes.
be exciting, y'all. For real. So listen, this is my last time live on this year. So I hope y'all have a blessed month. Enjoy your Christmas. If you are a part of the exclusive community, of course, we'll be in there talking and chit-chatting and stuff. But if not, just have a blessed year. Until next time, we'll see you all soon. Carmen, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much,
much.
Coach Ward. I appreciate you having me. Everyone, thank you for tuning in and being a part of it. And be blessed. Remember, you guys can do this. We're a community. We can do this together.
That's right. Have a good night, y'all.
Thanks. Bye.